Wojak has been in prison for a month now. This night, just as Wojak is falling asleep, his new cellmate Mike sneaks up to his bedside. He opens his eyes, horrified to see Mike transforming into a monster and stabbing straight into his chest.
What kind of monster are you? Why are you killing me?
Such delicious food.
A month ago, Wojak was happily driving home for his wife's birthday. On the way, he was stopped by a police officer who discovered meth in his car. Wojak knew he was being set up by the police, but he didn't understand why the police would do this. Soon after, he was sentenced to 1 year in prison. Awakening from his memories, Wojak finds himself lying on the floor. He is thankful that he is not dead, despite the sharp pain in his chest. And he is shocked to discover that the wound in his chest is actually healing and getting smaller. Then he can't help but cough. The monster is sleeping on the top bunk, and he is a bit surprised to hear the coughing. He didn't expect Wojak to still be alive.
Tough little thing. I ate your entire liver, and you're still breathing.
The spike stabs into Wojak's body again. This time, the monster is certain that it has pierced Wojak's heart. There is no way Wojak could survive. Wojak wakes up again. He realizes that he is still in the cell, in the same spot.
What? I'm still alive?
He checks his chest and is shocked to find that the wound has completely healed. Was it all just a dream? But the hole in his shirt is reminding him that it was all real. He is now very confused. First, how did this new cellmate, Mike, turn into a monster that eats people? Secondly, why did his wound heal automatically and come back to life, despite the fact that he had been pierced through his heart? Wojak realizes that somehow his body gains some kind of cellular regeneration superpower. The monster is currently sleeping on the top bunk, and Wojak is afraid of waking it up again. A few hours from now, morning will come, and he's got to figure out a way to escape, or that monster will rip him to pieces. He begins to gather his thoughts. From the experience of the 2 revivals, he knows his cellular regeneration superpower has its limits. In fact, this revival took significantly longer than the last one. Since his superpower is limited, if the monster chops off his head, he isn't sure he can grow a new one, and that might mean he's permanently dead. Just when Wojak is in a despair, he notices that an intact prison uniform appears next to the bars. He has no idea which prisoner it belongs to or why it is here. Looking at the uniform, Wojak comes up with a plan. First, he changes into the intact uniform, then carefully goes to his bed and hides his blood-stained, torn uniform under his mattress. Next, he cleans up the bloodstains on the floor. With his heart pounding after completing all this, he quietly returns to his bed and closes his eyes to rest. Before dawn, guards come by for their rounds, but Wojak doesn't dare move. He simply waits patiently for daybreak. The next morning, when Mike sees Wojak lying intact in bed, he is dumbfounded. Wojak gets up from bed and calmly greets Mike.
Good morning, Mike.
Mike remembers piercing Wojak's heart last night. How could he still be alive? Looking at Wojak's intact uniform, Mike can only assume that what happened last night was just a dream. Soon it's time for roll call, and a guard comes to their cell.
Wojak Smith.
Here.
Mike Johnson.
Here.
For a moment, Wojak wants to expose Mike as a monster and have the guard shoot him. But he knows the guard won't believe such nonsense about an inmate being a monster, so he decides to keep quiet. He decides to get out of the cell first, and then find a way to ask Peter for help, his only friend in prison. After breakfast, Wojak and a group of other prisoners are assigned to cleaning duty in the prison bathhouse. Among the prisoners, he finds Peter, pulls him into a corner of the bathhouse where no one can see them.
Peter, listen to me. There's a monster in this prison. We have to escape.
What did you say you found? Are you sure?
My cellmate is a monster. He disguises himself as human, but at midnight he comes out to eat my organs.
I'm curious. If you know he's a monster, how are you still alive? And I have to tell you, he's not the only monster in this prison.
No.
At that moment, a man appears out of nowhere and rushes to the monster's back, stabbing it with a sharpened brush, killing it instantly. Wojak quickly scrambles to his feet, staring at the monster's bloody corpse in shock.
Thank you for saving my life. I'm Wojak. Who are you?
I'm Dave. I've been watching you all day. From now on, if you don't want to die, don't tell anyone about the monsters. Anyone.
Do you know something more? What are these monsters? Why are they in the prison, eating people?
I do know some information, but I'll tell you later because time is urgent right now. If the monsters find out we killed one of their kind, we're both dead. Now, if you want to stay alive, you have to blend back into the crowd with me and act like nothing happened, like you saw nothing.
Dave heads out and rejoins the cleaning crew. Wojak has no choice but to follow. Soon it is lunchtime, but Wojak has no appetite. Thinking about how many monsters are lurking around him, and that he himself is food for these monsters, how could he possibly have any appetite? Especially since this prison serves the same meal every day. Green beans, some kind of unknown, disgusting green beans.
Every day it's these damn beans, disgusting.
The other prisoners have all finished eating and have returned to their cells, leaving only Wojak sitting in the dining hall in a daze.
Hey, mealtime is over. Get back to your own cell.
As Wojak follows the guard back to his cell, he passes by a room. Through the half-open door, he sees something that shocks him. Inside, Peter's body lies there, along with several other dead prisoners. A guard sits casually nearby, reading a newspaper with food on his table. Wait, that food looks suspiciously like a human organ. Wojak realizes the horrifying truth. Monsters aren't just disguised as prisoners, they are disguised as guards as well. He is in total panic. This prison is literally hell on earth. He has to pretend he saw nothing and follows the guard, who might also be a monster. Wojak gets back to his cell and discovers Mike has been transferred out. He feels relieved. Being alone is actually safer for him. Just then, he hears a low voice calling his name.
Wojak, how are the beans at lunch?
Dave?
Wojak walks to the bars and realizes Dave is in the cell right next to his.
Dave, I can't believe you're in the cell right next to mine. I have so many questions for you. Did you know that some monsters are even disguising themselves as guards?
Actually, all the guards in this prison are monsters. As for the prisoners, some are human and some are monsters.
What? What's going on here?
Next, Dave reveals the shocking truth about this prison to Wojak. On the surface, this appears to be a normal prison for criminals. But in reality, it's a restaurant for monsters. Monsters disguised as prisoners, like Mike, are actually customers here to eat. Regular prisoners like Wojak and Dave are the food. The guards are the waiters who match customers with their meals.
What? How do you know all this?
Dave proudly explains he has X-ray vision, a superpower that lets him see through everything, including the monsters' disguises. It turns out these monsters can disguise their external appearance, but their bone structure remains totally inhuman. With this power, Dave witnessed the entire process of Wojak being killed and coming back to life last night, and he was the one who tossed that clean prison uniform to save Wojak's life.
So that uniform was from you! I have a superpower too, as you saw last night, but I've been wondering, how did we get these powers?
It's those green beans we eat every day. They're definitely not ordinary beans. After prisoners eat these beans, their livers get unusually large, and human liver is exactly what these monsters love to eat. You know that famous French delicacy called foie gras, right? Yeah, that one. They force feed a goose until its liver becomes huge. That's exactly what these damn monsters are doing to us. Each of us is just a goose to them. They feed us beans just so they can eat our livers.
I see. So we're just modern poultry, being raised for slaughter. But what's the connection between those beans and our superpowers?
Let's just say, eating too many beans gives you a chance of developing superpower. I guess our superpowers are basically side effects from the beans. My power is X-ray vision, and yours is healing. We're the lucky ones. I've seen prisoners grow 3 nipples, others with 4 eyes, just useless, messed up mutations.
So what do we do now?
Break out! Tonight! I've been planning for over a month.
Dave then shares his escape plan with Wojak. He wants Wojak to follow him to the prison's infirmary first, but doesn't reveal the rest of his plan. Wojak has no choice but to trust this person he has only known for a day.